What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Tuesday. Sounds kind of weird for me to say that because I normally shoot videos on here Monday, Friday, and usually Sundays. And I missed Monday's video because of my work schedule. Changed up a little bit, and Darren couldn't shoot a video today because he had family over. So here I am with you guys late night on Tuesday. Kind of an unscripted video. I didn't know I was going to have time to shoot this, but let's pull up some news articles and just talk about them. A quick announcement, we will do a follow-up video to Batman Hush, the animated movie, because in my last video, I gave you guys my thoughts, and the video before that, Darren gave his thoughts on the movie, and you guys wanted to continue that discussion in another video, so we will definitely do that. Look for that video sometime later this week, and if you haven't already dropped your comments on the movie, on our community post or on our last two videos, definitely drop them in there so that way we can include your comment and kind of acknowledge what you thought about the movie. Okay, with that being said, here is an article that kind of just dropped, I think a few hours ago maybe. Darkseid and the Furies confirmed for DC's New Gods movie by Ava DuVernay. This is an article on Screen Rant, and now just going off the title, I kind of assumed that Darkseid and the Furies were going to be in this movie. Regardless, it wouldn't have been a New Gods movie without them. So kind of obvious, but let's go ahead and read the article. Darkseid and the Furies will be DC's New Gods movie. According to director Ava DuVernay, Warner Brothers and DC Films currently have 5 films in DCU confirmed to be on the way, with release dates set through 2022, and they're developing many more. One of these is New Gods, an adaptation of Jack Kirby creations that'll be helmed by acclaimed filmmaker DuVernay. The New Gods are incredibly powerful beings from New Genesis and Apocalypse. Now, quick comment. New Gods was one of those movies that when announced, I was pretty disappointed in hearing that they are going in this direction versus the fleshing out the Justice League members before we get into more of the more obscure creations in the DC universe, and especially for new fans, this might seem real out there. And then on the flip side, we're getting another Jack Kirby creation, which is the Eternals on the Marvel side of things. So they're going to be beating us to the punch, or beating DC to the punch. In terms of that, but with everything I'm hearing coming out of that movie, I'm not incredibly interested, and a New Gods definitely sounds more appealing to me. So maybe they can strike some gold here. So let's continue reading. DuVernay's been attached to the film since last spring, but now appears to be her primary focus after the release of When They See Us on Netflix. Move on the New Gods is picked up as of late, with Tom King, who won an Eisner Award for his Mr. Miracle comic series, joining the project as a writer. He's working with DuVernay now to bring cosmic concepts and characters to life. It's expected that the movie will heavily incorporate the loves between Mr. Miracle and DuVernay's favorite DC character, Big Barda. Now she's confirming some other major New Gods characters will be involved. Okay, let's stop there, pause there really quick. Okay, by the way, DuVernay, she has a project with Netflix, When They See Us. I'll have to check it out because to be honest with you, I'm not familiar with DuVernay's work. I've heard not so great things about the Wrinkle in Time movie from coming out of Disney, but then again, I imagine that it was a hard story to adapt. Yeah, again, I'm always going to give her a chance, especially because I have not seen her work yet, but she does seem passionate about this. She's expressed that Big Barda was like one of her favorite characters for a long time now, since she has been announced. And of course, she's paired up with Tom King, who is a great comic book writer and is acclaimed Mr. Miracle run, which I haven't even read yet. You guys might have seen my vlog months ago. I have it sitting right here. Mr. Miracle, have not read this thing yet. I've heard great things. I know Darren started reading it. But it's gonna go on top of my stack. I have a huge stack of comics I gotta catch up on. But I hear it's great. I flipped through it. I've read a little bit of it, but stopped. So I gotta restart this thing. So I'm excited. I'm familiar with Tom King's Batman run. I've read some of the. I'm not caught up by any means, but I'm familiar with some other Tom King's work. He's great, and his stories with Mr. Miracle has been beloved by the fans. So I'm excited for that. Let's continue reading. During an AMA on Twitter, DuVernay was flooded with hundreds of questions, and quite a few of them pertain to her upcoming DC movie. The topic of other characters who could appear in New Gods came up repeatedly, and Ava responded to ones related to possible roles for the Furies, who were previously rumored in Darkseid, as can be seen below. She confirms that they'll all be in New Gods. So you can see here the first tweet. How could any self-respecting Barda fan not include the Furies? I'm looking forward to them so much. Hashtag Ask Ava. And this is Black Adam on Twitter asking, are we going to see the Furies and New Gods? Please tell me. And then the next tweet is AM Javin says, what about Darkseid? Grits Teeth Ask Ava. And then all she has to say is Darkseid is. And really exciting, essentially confirming that Darkseid is in the movie. And Darkseid is a famous, kind of famous, I guess, like saying, I guess, now that that is associated with Darkseid. And really interesting. I'll go ahead. I pulled this up. So there is an interview about Darkseid is and where that came from. And here we can go ahead and see that in an interview, with Paste Magazine, King and Gerards, who is the artist for the Mr. Miracle book, talk about it. So King says Darkseid isn't just a big guy who wants to take over the world. He's not a Mongol. He's not even Thanos, a guy obsessed with death. He's the evil inside of us. He's the darkness. He's the thing inside of us that calls us to do the wrong thing or to be warped the wrong way. That's inescapable. Darkseid exists. That's there. Gerard says, he's the only comic book villain that I'm legitimately afraid of. When I was a kid, Darkseid scared the heck out of me. I don't think it ever went away. My mom brought home a Burger King Happy Meal, and it had this little cup holder. Different DC characters have their arms outstretched with cups that go in front. My mom brought home Darkseid, and I just started crying. I wanted no part of it. King says, I want to credit a webcomic artist named Julian Little. He's an old friend of mine, and we met at a con. I was telling him about Mr. Miracle, and he said, Darkseid is. And I said, what do you mean Darkseid is? He's that thing that you can't deny is there, that's pushing you towards darkness. And he kept saying Darkseid is over and over again. And as I was talking to him, I saw the black panels. It's always there in the background. It comes from that conversation with Julian. Now, Darkseid is, and that's what Ava DuVernay responded with. And throughout the pages of Mr. Miracle, you can see that sporadically throughout the comic, you'll see a black panel, Darkseid is, and it even ends with a panel, Darkseid is. And so that's where that comes from. And obviously, Ava DuVernay is familiar with that. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of this article. It says the Furies and Darkseid are staple characters in New God stories and mythos. The Furies are an all-female warrior group from Apocalypse who serve Darkseid, the leader of the planet. His faithful group of warriors are trained by Granny Goodness, a ruthless fighter and leader. Big Barda's alignment with the Furies has changed depending on the circumstances, and she's both led the team and fought against them. The original team members of the Furies include Bernadette, Lashina, Mad Harriet, and Stompa, but Ava's confirmation that the group in the New Gods does not mention whether or not his or her that this is her planned lineup. So that's essentially what this article says. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Just go ahead and comment on the fact that the female Furies are going to be a part of it. That's super exciting. And of course, Granny Goodness. It's going to be weird to see how that is translated on the screen. Are they going to actually call her Granny Goodness? Now, it's worked in the animated series. But again, it's animated, so I'm really curious to see how they're going to work this thing in. Are they going to really lean into the comic book nature? Or are they going to try to make it feel a little bit more serious in tone, or how is this going to be? I imagine it'll be somewhat lighthearted, but the fact that it's focusing on the love between Mr. Miracle and Big Barda gives me a little hope. I think that is the play, that is the right play, to focus on them as a story and potentially trying to escape Apocalypse and maybe somehow making it back to Earth, and maybe Mr. Miracle getting that costume. I don't know. Maybe they'll use the original origin of Mr. Miracle, or maybe not. I'm not sure. I imagine they're going to take a lot of liberty with the story to make it fit for the medium that it's in. So I'm excited now. I'm getting excited, and I'm really surprised that I am getting excited for this movie. And again, this is me hoping for a great movie. Would it have been the first thing that I chose for DC to make? Second, third, or fourth? Nope. I probably would have wanted this more down the line. But the fact that we're getting it now, and we're hearing some of this, I can't deny it's getting me excited. What do you guys think about this New Gods movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Darkseid being included here, especially since he was cut out of the Zack Snyder Justice League cut, because he did show us what Darkseid would have looked like. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be any resemblance there. I mean, of course, it has to look like Darkseid. So yeah, I'm really curious. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And the last topic we're going to talk about in this video is this earlier this morning, and it has to do with the Joker. So I'm reading this report on Heroic Hollywood. It says, early reaction says Joaquin Phoenix will be nominated at Oscars for the Joker. So, of course, in my last video, I also talked about the buzz concerning and revolving around the Joker. To me, immediately when I saw the trailer, it looked like one of those contenders for an Oscar and for many other awards probably as well. So it's not surprising for me to hear this, and this is all stemming from a tweet from Eric Weber, who I'm looking at his Twitter profile right here. It says his name, or he's going by Awards Ace on here. Editor-in-Chief, Awards Ace, Emmy-winning, #Oscars and Globes guru, film aficionado at the Critics' Choice. Also, Elizabeth Olsen once called me Robert Downey Jr.'s doppelganger. Yeah, he kind of does look like Robert Downey Jr. right here. And his tweet says, exclusive, source who's seen Joker tells me Joaquin Phoenix will be nominated for #Oscars 2020. Best Actor, calling Phoenix dark, disturbing, and unforgettable. And wow. Now that's something that doesn't surprise me at all, given how the trailer looked and everything coming out of what people are saying about this movie, the director and his vision for the DC universe as a whole, and not even just the Joker. I'm really excited. Now, of course, there's gonna be a lot of competition for best actor contenders, best picture, and everything like that. It's really a hard thing to win, and a lot of people will complain that Oscars is a joke, but you can't deny that it is a difficult thing to win. And the odds are normally stacked up against DC Comics or the DCEU in general. Though the Joker does have a history with the Oscars, and this is a character that kind of transcends both comic book mediums. The Joker, one of the greatest comic book villains out there. So with Joaquin Phoenix, an extraordinary actor, on board with this, wouldn't be surprising. So I am excited for the chances here for the Joker. And again, if you haven't commented on the Joker, has any of this buzz changed your mind? I know some of you guys are really excited for this movie, and a lot of you guys, surprisingly to me, are not. And you guys have stated your opinions, and I'm not one to knock another person for having an opinion, but does this even move the needle for you at all? I'm kind of curious for all of those who weren't on board in the beginning. So that's all I got for today, guys. I apologize for missing Monday's video. I know we missed some news about the Black Adam, but mostly it wasn't huge news. It was mostly, Black Adam's gonna film late 2020, I believe, was the latest news. So we missed some little minor stories here and there, but we'll get caught up soon enough. Let me know what you guys thought about the stories here. Look out for that Batman Hush video discussion soon later on this week. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you guys and all the support you've given us. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.